Hello everyone, welcome back to Magic Gathering Strat. This is Will. I wanted to go over one of my latest brews, a 5-color Elementals deck in Modern. So let's just jump right into it. It's pretty basic in theory, but it has a lot of combos and interactions that really help push it through in certain situations. I haven't done a ton of testing with the deck, but in the testing that I've played, I really liked how it's worked out. So as you can see, we're running 32 creatures, 21 lands. Pretty much the whole deck is nothing but creatures, minus the 4 lightning bolts. So we'll go over the mana base here. It's mostly a um, red themed deck, so the only basic lands I run are 3 mountains. Otherwise, it's a lot of mana fixing, and you'll see that as we go along here. So I run from the Commander series the Vivid lands, Vivid Meadow, Marsh, Crag, and Creek. And what they do is they come into the battlefield tapped with a 2 charge counters on it, and they allow you to tap it and remove charge counter to add any color to your mana pool. Now, once we get going, it's very easy for us to stabilize the mana pool with just having these out there because of the ancient ziggurats. They allow you to add one of any color to your mana pool to spend on creature spells, and then the Primal Beyonds allow you to add any color mana for elemental spells. So also with the deck, I run 4 of the shock lands of the primary red colors. I have red black, red blue, and red white. The only reason why I don't run red green is Spawn Riff is not really too high of importance for me to cast out there, while Muldrifter and Revelark are very high on the list. So with going over the mana list, let's take a look at the main deck. I have it sorted here by converted mana cost. 4 lightning bolts, pretty obvious choice. If you're running red and you have the room for it, you run lightning bolt. Flamekin Harbinger. This is an excellent tutor for all of the elementals in the deck. Pretty much whatever I need, I can pull up, and I can also pull up um, the elemental. The shapeshifter nameless inversion because it has changeling, and so therefore it's an elemental card. Moving along, nameless inversion, a pretty good removal spell. Also can help you pump in really, really rare situations. Blighthearth, Bannerith, making the elemental spells of the deck cost 1 colorless less. Smoke Breeder, excellent card for color fixing as well as ramp. It adds 2 mana in any combination of colors to your mana pool, and you spend that on the elementals and their abilities. Moving along, Incandescent Soul Stoke. This is a great card. Boost all of my elementals +1/+1, and I can take any card and pull it out of my hand, put it onto the battlefield, and it gets sacrificed at in a turn. But comboing this plus a Revelark with stuff in the graveyard allows me to, at end of turn, I got a 4/3 in. Now I get to pull out some of my some of the creatures in my graveyard right onto the battlefield. You also notice that Revelark returns 2 target creatures with power 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Most of all of the creatures in the deck have power 2 or less, so that they really work together well. Next up is the Spawnrith. This is an excellent card also for decks that don't play a lot of blockers like Tron. Early, this card gets out there, just starts hammering down. It puts a token in the on the battlefield that's a token of itself. So this card can get really out of control fast. You attack for 1, now you have 2. You attack for 2, now you have 4. A lot of cards once this thing starts going. I mean, a lot of decks once this thing starts going don't have any good way to recoup. Ashmore Liege. This is a great card once again. That it ramps all of the red elementals in the deck. It also it's a good card to really punish any way that of trying to remove it for the opponent's side, as it'll do 4 damage to them if it becomes a target of a spell or ability. Stingmagi is a pretty interesting card. He comes onto the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it, and for 3 in a red, you get to destroy target artifact or land. This thing is, he can do some work with against Tron, Scapeshift, eggs, things like that. Muldrifter is a pretty obvious choice for this deck, as I want to be, if I can draw some cards with Soul Stroke out there, I can draw those cards, play them, and it comes back with Revelark, which is a nice little combo as well. So last card is Revelark. This is a 4 and a white flying 4/3, and we kind of went over this a little bit before, but it's really the engine of the deck, as it will bring back a lot of cards and has a pretty good body on itself for presenting some good pressure. So we'll go into the sideboard. Sideboard here, Fester Creep, excellent card. Comes into the battlefield almost like Stigmagi, with the +1/+1 counter on it. Remove that counter, and all other creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn. So this is a good card against like White Weenie, Goblins, and Infect. It's a good way to sweep the board while leaving most of my creatures on there, since most of my creatures are 2/2 or better. Fire Sprout. This is a good card also against a lot of the aggro decks like White Weenie, Goblin, Infect, Jund, Zoo, Merfolk. Most of those decks don't have creatures with flying in it, so this is just going to come through. If I cast it normally, do 3 damage to everything. If I cast it with a green, 3 damage across the board. It's pretty much a board wipe, and then we'll be on the offensive on the next turn. Usually, if I cast a Revelark, if I kill the Revelark with it, because then I'm going to bring back 2 creatures. Tunnelingus. This is good against Tron, Scapeshift, things like that. Protects me against really Scapeshift's ultimate combo when it brings in more than 1 land into the battlefield. Typically, they're trying to bring in about 3 to 5 lands off of Escape Shift to kind of close out the game. Now it's just gonna absolutely punish them, as they're gonna be pretty low on life because they're not as aggressive as we are. And then if they go to cast the Escape Shift combo, this is just gonna put the game away. Path to Exile. Put this card in here for a little bit extra removal. The Eldrazi Worm Coil engines, Titans of the format are just too much to deal with Lightning Bolt and basic removal. So Path to Exile pretty much ignores all power toughness, just gets the creature off the board, and then I don't have to worry about it. Last up is Rakdos Charm. This card is amazing in almost all categories. I don't know why I don't put it in the main deck. I think it's just because I don't have room to run it. From what I can tell, it might get substituted for the Lightning Bolts. Most of the time I sideboard out Lightning Bolts for Rakdos Charm. And now this card, excellent against eggs, Merfolk, Pod, Splinter Twin, Living End, anything that has to deal with the graveyard or just a ton of creatures or artifacts. This card just does work, so I really like it. And so with all that said, let's find a match and show it off. Okay, so we got a match here. I kind of like this hand. I know I do have 2 lands that come into the battlefield tap, but I don't really have much to play without them. If I can get the Soul Stroke out there, then we can, hopefully draw into some other stuff and put a Spawn Wraith on the battlefield. So we're not going to mulligan here, especially since we're also on the draw. So we got a Ziggurat, so we'll put out a Craig. I don't really know what he's playing. I haven't really seen this card played in any staple modern deck. Maybe it's vampires? A weird form of vampires? I don't know. We'll go Ziggurat. So we got Lightning Bolt to kind of back us up in case he starts to pump this thing up. So this is an interesting card. I've definitely never seen this deck put around. It looks like it's definitely a graveyard heavy deck, so I don't know why he would do that. That's, I guess, to just show off that it can be done. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Now we're taking 5. That's pretty rough. Maybe should have played the Spawn Wraith there. I don't think so, though. So I can bring in Mole Drifter from Incandescent Soulstroke to... No, I can't. Oh, yeah, I can. Oh, no, I can't. He's going to sack it. That stinks. This is a very interesting deck here. I've never played against this deck before, but I can tell you from the little interactions that we've seen so far, it's kind of nice. Okay, so this card is just doing work against me. Very interesting to see how, if we can see a lot more of this deck, how it plays out. If not, we'll see if we can talk to Will of the Wisp afterwards and see if you have a little bit of insight to share into the deck. Hopefully now we can, be a little bit aggressive. He can't block this. Creatures with shadow can't can only block or be blocked by other creatures with shadow. So I'm not too worried about the Nether trader on the board. I'm just worried about whatever he has in his hand. All right, so nothing I'm doing there. This is a very interesting card. I've seen this played before. It's really good for decks with a lot of removal or creature sacrifice effects, things like that, because you can just almost at instant speed put a red kobold onto the battlefield and switch that to be the target of a sack spell. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. All right, so he's gonna block here, but or maybe not, and we're gonna get the token on the battlefield. Next turn, got a Mole Drifter in play with the 2 tokens. So hopefully I can Mole Drifter evoke into either like an incandescent or something like that. This is very good. It's got a pretty good sack engine with a pretty good sack cards to go with it. Okay, that's I mean, he's gonna keep on pinging me here, but I think I'm almost gonna allow that to happen until the last second. So you're gonna go after my smoke breeder? Probably. Ooh, this is a little dirty. So we can sack a creature, give my Spawnwrath -1/-1. That will bring back this. He can. No, he can't. He'll run out of creatures. Um, Kind of just foil his plan a little bit here. Okay, so we're going to reinforce this card. Alright, so he's not getting that back. That's good. And we'll hold that nameless version in case he brings this thing back. Then we can okay. I'll let that fly. For now. We'll go Mole Drifter. Attack with our tokens. Okay, I mean, still getting 2 more tokens out of this. And this game is just getting a little bit out of hand quickly. For him on the other side. In the next turn, we'll be swinging for 10 with Lightning Bolt in hand. So as long as he doesn't play anything crazy, we'll pretty much have this game wrapped up. Okay, so he scooped. Let's just draw a card. Okay, it would have been a ziggurat, so I would have been able to play something. Okay, so this is a no-brainer for Path to Exile as well as the Rakdos Charm. And I don't think anything else. Wow, that's lucky. So we'll go Primal Beyond. We'll reveal the Mole Drifter just because he knows that we have it. I don't want him to know that I have a Spawn Wrath in my hand since that's a card that pretty much killed him on the last turn. And now I can be able to play Path to Exile on his turn in case he puts down another one of those. I don't even remember what the name of it was, to be honest. There you go, Stevens. The Blood Crypts, no tap. So this deck seems a little slow sometimes because it doesn't have too many one-drops in it, or at least one-drop creatures. The Flamekin that tutors up the elementals is pretty good, as well as the lightning bolts when they're in there. But this is this smells like an attempt to fill his graveyard. Maybe not. Looks like he's just getting mana flooded. So we'll go this, for this, for this, for this, for that. Now if that gets killed, I'm not gonna cry about it because I do have a Revel Arc to bring it back in case it does. If it doesn't, then we're just gonna keep on doing work. So of course I get my my Ashamore Liege when I don't have any other red or black elementals to put out there. But that's okay. I won't run them out there just yet. I probably will play the. I guess I'll play him next because that's my only play. So I'm not going to show him anything. I will attack. I will take this thing out if he blocks. And I will get my spare token. So then we'll go Blood Crypts. Yes. So now I can go Ashmore into Ashmore and have 2 6/3s with my Spawn Wraths. Spawn. How would you say this? Spawn Wreath? Yeah, sure. Spawn Wreath. Alright, so he's got his the Kobold thing out here, and that's going. So most likely he will make one of these, sack it to this to block one of these, but at that point I will Path to Exile and get my my next 2. Okay, that's fine. So I won't be playing my second Ashmore here, just because of what I need to do up here. And I just realized that I can't cast Path to Exile. Looks like I will be playing that other leash. That's okay. He can take out the original. I'm still gonna get the other dude out there. Okay, a scoop. So, well, that's been my, modern elementals deck. I just wanted to go over a couple things with you guys here to close out. The deck is really in the infant stages of play testing. I just recently acquired all the cards this afternoon, put the deck together, and this is my first, video of the deck. So, with all that said, this is Will for Magic Gathering Strat. Be sure to check out our website at mtgostrat.com. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at mtgo strat, and Dan is at Dan Horning or at Magic Gath Strat. This has been Will. Thanks for watching.